We're on Niddah Parak Vav, Mishnah Bet. Second Mishnah in the 6th chapter of Masechet Niddah. So, our Mishnah is now going to go on a total tangent that has nothing to do with Masechet Niddah. But just as a reminder, in our last Mishnah, we learned about Simanim and Tachton and Elyon. We said, if A, then B. But if B, not necessarily A. So, I'll explain. We talked about Siman Tachton and Siman Elyon. And we said that if a woman develops if she has Siman Elyon, she definitely has Siman Tachton, according to Chachamim. But if she has Siman Tachton, she then doesn't necessarily have Siman Elyon. You can A without B, but you can't have B without A. So now Mishnah is going to go on a whole tangent of 9 more Mishnayot that are similar idea. A means B, but B doesn't mean A. Kiyosibo. In a similar fashion. So now let's go on a tangent. Why the Mishnah decided to do this? No idea. Because that's what in the Gemara we know it's like that a lot. Mishnah is rarer, but we do see tangents like that in the Mishnayot. Kiyosibo. Similarly, Kol Kli Cheres Shu Machnis Motzi. We have a din of a Kli Cheres. A Kli Cheres of an earthenware vessel. We learned this in the Sechet Kelim. So there were certain kinds of Kelim that were they lost their status of a Kli if they were Menukav. They had a hole. Okay, but we said it has to be a Kli Cheres Shu Machnis. It has to have a hole that if you put it on the water would enter. Yeshbo nekev gadol. It has a hole of a sufficient size. Shamayim nichnesim litocho. Then the water enters it. If the hole in the kli is big enough that the water enters it, then kol shekein shi notein mayim litocho yotzei hamashke lachuz. And certainly, then the water will exit. Okay, so therefore, if it's a kli cheres that's machnis, then a kli cheres that's motzi. Right, but yeshem motzi. But there are klei cheres, small klei cheres that leak, i.e., ve'ino machnis. But if you put it on water, the water would not enter. The hole is small enough that the water will exit it, but will not enter. That's what it says. What's the nafka mina? Okay, that in order, because we said the kaimalan kli cheres shalem shenika. If you have a kli cheres, eino pasul lekadesh bo mechatar. If you wanted to use this kli cheres in order to put it in mechatar, the para aduma. Okay, nekev gadol b'kones mashke. It has to be a hole that's big enough in it so that it's kones mashke, that water would enter it. But nekev katan shumotzi mashke. But if it's a small hole that the water goes out, then lo nafik b'torad kli v'lo mifsal. It's not pasul. Okay, so therefore, if you want to have a kli, if it's machnis, then it's motzi. Okay, then the water goes out. Now, what's motzi useful for? So they used to have shards that they used to catch water. Those shards, if the shards leaked, if they were motzi, then those shards would not be a kli cheres at all. So therefore, I want to know, can I use the shard in order to use it for para aduma? So it says, listen, if it's machnis, okay, if it takes on water, then it's definitely motzi. Meaning, if it's machnis and therefore you cannot use it for para aduma, then it's motzi. Then for sure, I know for a fact it's not a shard. It doesn't have that din. It's called a gistera. That shard it's a kli that used for gistera. But yesha motzi ve'eno machnis. But you have kelim that leak. That's not a gistera, but it's eno machnis. But you can still use it for para aduma. Okay, you have A and not B, and B and not A. If you have questions, you can send me an email if that wasn't clear. Kol eivar sheish bo tzipor. Now, next case, totally unrelated. If you have a sixth finger, an extra finger. Okay, so the Mishnah says, Eivar sheish bo tzipor, it has a nail, then yesh bo etzem, then it has a bone. So if you have a finger with a nail, then it has a bone. And what's the din? Because the difference is, okay, that im yesh ba tzipor, it has a nail, then it's considered a limb, u'metamei maga masa ohel. And then it's metamei maga, if you touch it, masa, carry it, even if you don't touch it, or ohel, in the same ohel. Ke eivar sheish bo etzem, like an eivar that has a bone, shemetamei be'ohel, even if there's no kizayid basar. But that therefore it has a bone. But yesh bo etzem be'in bo tzipor. There are some that have a bone, but don't have a nail. Therefore, it has an etzem. V'lo chashuva eivar im yoter. If it's an extra limb, not considered a limb, since it doesn't have a finger or nail, and therefore mitama b'maga u'b'masa ve'ino mitama be'ohel. Okay, so this is a case of, so you have, if it has a nail, then it has an etzem. It's an eivar, it's mitame ohel. But some have an etzem, and they don't have a nail, and therefore it's not mitame ba'ohel. And obviously this is only referring to sixth fingers, because if it refers to other fingers, those are eivarim, l'chol inyan u'l'chol davar. Just remember that if you ever meet a six-fingered man, my name is Inigo Montoya. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to the Rabbi and Father of Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.